Hello everyone, and we're back. So, after some debate, I've decided we're just going to finish up the trainers on the bridge, and then we're going to. I'm told I'm good for a kid. That's what she said. Um, After some debate, I figured we're going to just do the trainers, and I'm going to grind off screen because I just the grinding part, like, it was an idea I had, and I just kind of like, I feel like it's more boring than it is entertaining because you just watch the game speed up and I just one shot a bunch of Pokemon and all that. So if you're enjoying it, I do apologize, but we're going to take it out for the rest of the playthrough. And for, as I said, future playthroughs, we're not going to do that. So, for now, we're just going to grind up our Pokemon on these trainers and then head on to fight Koga. Sorry, I've been watching both a lot of, not a lot of Walking Dead, but rewatching The Walking Dead and then watching My Hero. And so Himiko Toga keeps popping in my head because I think she's one of my favorite characters just because the fact that it's kind of like Rogue from X-Men. They both have the dilemma where their quirk or superpower is much, like, it's worse than pretty much everyone else's, and it's feared by everyone else, so people make them feel like they're like monsters. Like in Rogue's case, she can't help but drain people's memories and stamina when she touches them, as well as their powers. It's not that she wants to, but once she grabs onto you, you're just gonna lose your abilities. It's like, if you've seen the one from the original cartoon, that Rogue, where she's flying around and whatnot, well, in one of the comics, she grabs onto Captain Marvel for so long that she permanently can fly and do other things because she grabbed onto Captain Marvel for a long time. And Himiko Toga is similar because her ability, the whole drinking blood, gives her the ability to use to make herself look like anyone, and then she can use their abilities. I found out recently is similar. It's just a little more like I feel like people would be more like concerned of that rather than a touch, even though the touch is deadly. Like the fact that Himiko needs blood. My bird Pokemon wants to battle with you. The fact that Toga needs blood to do her stuff in that world automatically makes people skeptical and scary of her, just like in Rogues. She basically kissed her boyfriend in high school. He pretty much went into a coma because she did unknowingly drained his vitality and memories. So yeah, I've been watching that, and then watching some Walking Dead because, in all honesty, I think The Walking Dead's actually a really good TV show, up to the 4th season. So I personally did not like the 5th season. I thought the 5th season had potential, but at certain points were killed for me. So like, the ending of the Governor in season 4 was awesome because he was a great villain that appeared in seasons 3 and 4. In seasons 2 and 1, there really isn't a villain. And like season 1, you could say it's a Merle, but I would not agree with that because really he's there and then he's gone. So I would say it's more of them fending with the world. And then in 2, it's kind of Shane, but at the same time, Shane doesn't do too much evil stuff for me to warrant him. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't realize I had clicked a with my rambling. And then in season 2, you could say Shane, but Shane didn't do a lot of stuff that I wouldn't warrant him as a villain, because while he was antagonistic towards one person in the group, he wasn't really antagonistic to those who weren't like against his rule. Like, he was nice to Andrea and Glenn and Carol and even Daryl, but with Rick, Lori, Dale, Herschel, and Herschel's family, he was basically more antagonistic because he felt they were challenging him and whatnot. So the Governor to me is like the first real villain because he's menacing. He does a lot of bad stuff. I found Carbos in a cave once while I was spelunking. Cool, yeah, you can pick up items like that. And, you know, he was menacing because for 2 seasons, he tormented the main characters and posed a threat that they couldn't just easily take out, and it took a lot of time and even a lot of losses to take out. And then season 5, I like the idea that they introduced the idea of cannibalism that we see in the comic books and the game by Telltales, is because in a zombie apocalypse, there's always the question, is there going to be a random person who just can't handle the strain and starts eating human meat because it's, you know, that now they're like, well, there's nothing else to eat, you know, interested in stuff like that. You know, that's cool stuff, because to me, like, I know, all weird, but it's cool stuff to me because I always like looking at zombies for the psychological effect that they do. So like I've said earlier in Dead Rising, the psychological effect of the psychopaths, when you get down to it, you can actually relate to a lot of the psychopaths and understand their motivations. Like one of them, his name, what was it? It was like, crap, I can't remember it, but basically in the first Dead Rising, he's this guy who owns this post office service, right? And when you walk in, you just see him covered in blood, and he has a machete, and he's like, you're not gonna talk, you're Viet Cong, right? And so he's kind of in the mindset of being back in the war. And so when you defeat him and he's laying dying, he kind of tells you that, I feel like I've said this before, but he tells you that the reason he's like this is because he was with his granddaughter and the zombies got her, and when she was getting eaten, he kind of freaked out, and then his mind snapped back and everything went white and he was back in the war, which is something that not everyone can relate to, but a lot of us can be like, okay, well, yeah, he did some messed up stuff, he killed survivors, he was a villain, what's catching? You never know what you could catch. But at the same time, it's like, but, you know, the man was in war, and this is just something that triggered him to go back in that mindset, which is the saddest thing. So that's why, like, with zombie things, zombie games, zombie TV, zombie movies, I like looking at the effect it has on the characters, because you can see how they handle things. Because with zombies, in the end of the day, you're still killing humans. You know, yes, the human beings have been long dead, and they are living dead, but you're still doing that. So how does that affect your psyche? And so certain people, like, I think his name was Clint or Cliff or something, kind of regresses to a mindset that he had when he was trying to survive a war. Let me read this, guys, before I continue. I'm searching for a moonstone. Have you found one? Others, like Slappy in the second Dead Rising, this other mascot that he really likes, she ends up getting eaten by the zombies, and so he goes kind of insane because he doesn't think that he'll be able to find anyone else. And so when you show up, the guy who's framed to start the outbreak, he attacks you because he's like, you're the reason that she's dead, and now I got to avenge her. I was trying to think of the word. Stuff like that is always interesting to me and cool, because it's a really cool way to show something everyone knows and kind of likes, and then take a twist on it. And with The Walking Dead, first 4 seasons, they did a really good job with that. Season 5, introducing the cannibals was cool, but instead of being like, no, these are just a group of people who go out and grab people and then, you know, use them for food, they make a whole story that they're apparently controlled by another guy, and they're doing this because the other guy wants them to. Electricity is my speciality. I don't know a thing about Pokemon of the Sea, though, and why you are... Yeah, okay, tasers. Why you would be near the water with that is beyond me, Luca, but okay. And then you find out, like, oh no, they really don't want to eat people, but they're forced to because this one guy just won't let them do anything else. And it's like, okay, there's a pretty good size of you, and if you really didn't want that, you could fight. And yes, the scary part is he might win. But if you really don't like what you're doing, then don't do it. Like, he's not coming around all the time, I didn't think. And then they introduced one character that I just didn't like. I don't remember his name, but they introduced a priest. And in the show, they stumble across him being attacked by walkers, and they save him. And instead of thanking the characters, he gets mad at them and is like, you guys are heathens, killing killing these folk and da 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 da. And it's like, okay, dude, yes, I understand. You should not kill another man, as it says in the Bible. Great, but these are walking dead. You know, I'm sure there's a exception. I'm the fishing guru's younger brother. I simply love fishing. I can't bear to live without it. Tell me, do you like fishing? Awesome. We'll have this super rod. The rest is just the same thing his brothers say. Fishing is a way of life, you know, do. I have a request. See, this is the one I won't be doing, but he wants a gigantic Magikarp. I have never done it, but I wonder what he gives you. Maybe something to come back to, because that'd be cool. And now we can get a Snorlax, because we killed the last one, so we'll listen to this awesome music before I continue talking about the zombie stuff, ironically, in Pokemon. So yeah, and so instead of thanking them, he gets mad, and I'm like, yes, the Bible says not to kill another. Men should not kill another man. So if you're human, you should kill another. You shouldn't kill another human being. Okay, cool. But these are walking dead, so I'm sure this constitutes an exception, because I'm sure in the Bible this would be like not a good thing, right? Then instead of going on his way, he follows them, which at first you're like, cool, new character, he's annoying, he gonna be the moral compass like Herschel was, awesome. If he's like the Herschel, great, I ain't gonna complain. But no, he purposely tries to sabotage the group, almost getting them killed multiple times, and by the time he's gone, I don't even feel bad, because it's like, dude, you sabotaged the people who saved you. What is wrong with you? So that's when, like, the show goes off rails for me, is because it introduces characters who are just dumb, and then it introduces our characters reacting in a really, really dumb way. Okay? I'm all for character changes. I am. I respect them. Because sometimes you do need to change characters. You need to update them, give them a different kind of motivation. Something occurred in the zombie apocalypse that really affected them, and they can't go back to the way they were. Cool. But then they were making dumb decisions, like sparing certain people, who I don't want to spoil if you haven't caught up. Like, I'm sure you've seen seasons 1 through 4 at least, because those are the last time 1 through 4 aired was 2013, so I'd be shocked if anyone hasn't seen it yet on this channel. But then they let certain people who are deadly to the group not only, you know, survive, which, okay, good, I'm all for the no killing thing, but then they stay in the same area that the guy operates out of. And it's like, what are you on? Like, if a villain is there and you don't want to kill them, okay, that's your choice. Move the location. Yes, is this location great? Yes, did it take forever to find it? Yes, is it possible you won't find one for a minute? The same thing happened in season 3. They found a prison. Prison was awesome. Stayed there all the way to season 4. Prison got basically destroyed, and they had to leave. Okay, well then you can find another place, you know. Come on. Hey Jess, if we win, I'll marry you. Oh, that's... I kind of feel bad that we're gonna wreck these guys. I want these two. That's cute. I don't know how long they've been together, but that was the most adorable thing I've ever heard an NPC say. Okay. Anyways, back to my tangent, but they do that, and then they surround themselves with people who just try to sabotage them. And yes, I can hear the argument. They're trying to get along with people. They're just trying not to cause trouble. And sometimes you have to work with people who you don't like and who are going to sabotage you. Yes, I've heard that, and I can understand it. But at the same time, why? Why not just move on to another place, build somewhere? Like, the show makes it seem like the zombies are these massive hulking things that can't be dealt with. I love fishing, don't get me wrong, but it'd be best if I also had more work. You know, they act like these are massive hulking creatures like Attack on Titan that you just can't fight, and no matter what, you're dead. And I know people are probably, I know you might point out, well, that's not true, they do kill them. Yes, but like, example, a great example for me was kind of the I'm trying to think. All right, so great example, got it right. Herschel's farm. Before the horde showed up, they could have easily killed the little bits of zombies wandering around. Even though Herschel was against it, he learned to live with it. But then, you know, they do something dumb like shoot a gun. And yes, I know Carl is a kid. I know he was trying to save his dad. I know they didn't expect a horde to be nearby. But then again, I argue, they were on that freeway. They knew there was a horde on the freeway. They had barely escaped a horde of zombies. So why would a kid, knowing that, risk it? Why would the adults let him risk it? You know, things like that could make me question the rationality of the characters, because there's one thing to be very human and, you know, act a certain way, but then there's another to... And as such, so yeah, but anyway, sorry about that. I had to go out and real quick go check on my dogs. My mom said she heard some other dogs barking at them, so got off my tangent. It was like, yeah, so like dumb decisions like that where they just come, they do things that are human but also not human. So another example, right? Rick knows the governor can't be reasoned with. He knows the governor is going to do something horrible. And yes, he tries reasoning with him. Great. But we all knew he was going to kill Herschel. So, I mean, you know, do something different. So, stuff like that in that show just really peeved me because it took the humanity away at times. Be patient. Fishing is a waiting game. You know, it took the humanity away at times that made it less realistic to me and more of just like, we're gonna do this just to do this and etc. So, yeah, sorry, I am all over the place right now. So, I'm jumbled because I had to pause. Hoping this audio doesn't come out too bad. Anywho, so stuff like that, and then it's like, I'm trying to think. So, I know ammo's limited, right? And I know that they don't want to waste ammo, and I get that, but certain things they could do, like luring the zombies away, causing a distraction, making noise in areas they want to go into, and they don't do it, and it's just like, no wonder you can't survive the zombie apocalypse. I mean, you can't even function, like, you can't even think of what to do in this situation. So, I know it sounds like when I talk like this, my friends have told me, like, you like that? Yes, I still like zombie stuff. I still like the first 4 seasons of Walking Dead. I still like a lot of zombie games, but at the same time, I'm just a very, like, I'm a person who likes to be critical about things, because I myself am very much the opinion that constructive criticism is very much valued. Like, I never understand why people get very annoyed at others when they do constructive criticism, because it works, you know? Like, if you are doing something wrong, it's in everyone's best interest that the person goes, hey, just so you know, this is not how we do that, and if you do that, it's gonna be an issue. That really helps, and so that's why, even though I like stuff, I'm very critical of the stuff I like, because I always want to see it improved. And my sister always tells me that I have to remember that there's limitations that Hollywood has to do, and so... Oh, but we made it over here. Okay, we got... Return. So yeah, the more they like you, the stronger that is. But hey, we made it to the other end. We're here. It's gonna be awesome. So we'll be ending this soon. I'm gonna fly back to Fuchsia City, And we're going to call it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like and subscribe, and I will see you all